Hey, it's Dr. Ganatra, and in this one, I'm going to show you how to save $50,000 or more on your next practice. So if you're purchasing a practice and whatever it is, 100,000, 200, a million, whatever that number is for the purchase price, how do you save 10,000, 30, 40, 50, 60, $70,000 on that next office? There's one metric you have to keep in mind. This is the one metric most often people overlook. And if you understand this one thing, you will have the ability to save 50,000 or more or less, whatever that number is, you'll see the metric on your next practice. And it comes down to one area. It's called credit balances. Credit balances. What credit balances are simply the amount of money a patient has already paid to the practice before you bought it, and they haven't gotten the work done. So, I'll give you an example. You have to, before you purchase a practice, make sure that the practice owner runs a report and tells you what the credit balances are for that practice. So, essentially, if they run the report and it gives you all the patients that have paid for treatment that haven't yet gotten that treatment done, that can amount to 10,000, 30,000, 40, 50,000, 60, 70, and you will be stunned at how big that number is. Now, what's the problem with that number? These are patients that have paid for things they haven't gotten done yet. So if you buy the office, the first day you're in the office, the patient can come to you and say, hey, I got this stuff paid for with Dr. Johnson, and you're Dr. Ganatra, and I don't really want to get this done from you, so I want a refund. What happens now? You have to refund that patient back. Who does the refund? Usually it's that new owner, unless there's something in the contract. So here's how you work around that. You have to either tell that selling dentist, hey, you got to knock off the price of the practice. So if there's $50,000 worth of credit balances, you got to reduce the price of the practice by $50,000. If there's $20,000 of credit balances, you got to reduce the price of the practice by $20,000 because that patient hasn't yet gotten that work done. And if they come in and they don't want to get the work done, then I have to refund them. Now, the selling dentist is not going to like this, but here's a workaround. You can also negotiate with that selling dentist and say, hey, if they come in and ask for a refund because they do not want the work done anymore because they prepaid for the work, then you know what? You, the selling dentist, have to refund that patient back. Now, I don't like that way because then I have to contact the selling dentist after they've already sold the practice to me, and then I have to go after them for the money, and they're going to be like checked out. Maybe they're in Hawaii kicking back, whatever it is. What I'd rather do is do one of two things. First thing, they just reduce the total sale price by the amount of that credit balance, because that's money that's already been paid. And if it's already been paid and the seller has not done the work, then you have to reduce the sale price by that amount, and you are going to be doing that work, correct? The other thing is the seller has to come in and do the work. Personally, I don't love that thing because I don't want to keep the seller around for too long after they sell the practice. They don't have to come in, so they have to come in and do the work. I don't really like that avenue, that perspective. My suggestion is once you purchase, you transition that seller out sooner the better. So those are the two ways to do it. Now, there's a third way. The third way is essentially saying, hey, what is your insurance aging report, or what is your aging report in your practice where we're still waiting on money to come in? Whatever money that comes in, if I'm keeping that, that's fine. And if $50,000 is coming in on work you've already done, I get to keep that. And this price stays the same. But the best way to go is to tell the seller you have $50,000 worth of credit balances, meaning there's work that has already been paid for, it hasn't been done. If those patients come in, I have to refund them if they don't want the work done from me. So what I'm going to recommend to you is reduce the price of that practice by $50,000, or at least meet halfway and say, let's reduce the price by $25,000. So this is an easy metric to use to reduce the price of any practice by an equivalent amount of that credit balance metric. Hope this one made sense. Let me know what you thought in the comments. As always, I love making these for you. I'll see you in the next one. Live inspired.